I invite you to join me in centering prayer. Centering prayer comes to us from Father Thomas Keating. And there are a couple of phases to this prayer practice, and I will guide you the entire way, but I want to go over those to begin with. First, you will be invited to choose a sacred word. This can be any word that holds meaning for you. It can simply be Jesus, or it can be love, or hope, or peace. Or maybe you read something today, a poem, or you sang a song, and there was a word that really stood out to you and became a sacred word for you today. Whatever it is, I will invite you to use that word throughout your practice. And then the second step in this practice is to open your heart, open your mind, and open your body to a loving presence. That can be God's loving presence, the presence of the Spirit to guide you. Whatever loving presence you feel like your heart, mind, and body can ease into an open posture, inviting that loving presence to work in and through you. The third part is that when we begin to notice that we are engaging in thinking or planning or writing our to-do list, that we then use that sacred word to come back to just resting in the loving presence. And then fourth, at the end of the prayer, we just remain in silence for a couple of minutes. And I will invite you to use a prayer that you have memorized if you would like to pray the Lord's Prayer at the end, or if there is another prayer that you have memorized, or you just want to pray a prayer from your heart, you will be invited to do that at the end. And so now I encourage you, in whatever place, on whatever cushion or chair or sofa you are seated on, to just sit back. Most times all of us are seated forward with curiosity and engagement, but for this practice we want to move the body back to find a sense of rest and ease. And then when you're ready, if it feels comfortable to you to close your eyes, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, just gaze softly down. And just taking a moment to ease into this prayer practice, to transition from what we were doing a moment ago into being very present for this practice. And so settling the body in whatever shape you're in, or if you are uncomfortable, changing your position now. And then if it feels right for you, you can just focus your attention on your breath for just a few moments. Again, just easing gently into this prayer practice. I invite you now to choose your sacred word. As you bring to mind this sacred word, imagine this sacred word as a symbol of your intention to consent to a loving presence, to God's presence and action within you. When you feel that your body, mind, and spirit are open to this loving presence, God's presence working within you, you can repeat in your mind your sacred word again, and then just rest. If it helps to pay attention to the breath, you can observe the inhale and the exhale. Otherwise, the only instructions are to rest. To rest in this loving presence working in and through you. And anytime your mind begins to think or plan, just kindly smile at your thoughts, recognizing that this is what the mind does. And then use your sacred word, repeat your sacred word to bring you back to resting in that loving presence. Begin again now, repeating that word, bringing you back to this present moment without judgment. If you have to repeat that word to bring you back into this present moment 50 times or 500 times over the next few minutes, it doesn't matter. That's your practice for today. Each time you repeat that word, bringing yourself back to this present moment, to resting in the loving presence. It's your opportunity to begin again, to start fresh, like the meditation starts now. If you are extending your amount of time that you are spending in this prayer practice, you could pause this video now. Otherwise, I invite you to take a moment and just be. Be with whatever is. Letting go of your sacred word. And then ending your prayer practice in whatever way feels right for you. And then when you have finished your prayer, I invite you to transition out of this prayer practice very slowly, very gently. Maybe wiggling the body around a little bit, taking some gentle movements. And then the eyes open. Centering Prayer by Father Thomas Keating.